Welcome back.
Nick and Lex here.
Hello, everyone.
How's it going? So tonight, we're going to do some more Chicago from... Have we done anything from this album?
I don't think so.
Chicago 3. And 1971, I mean, that's the Chicago... I mean, not to... Because we learned our lesson when we did the... what was it? The very famous ballad. What was it? We just... If You Leave Me Now. And so we learned that, you know, we... From a lot of people, like, hey, that's the Chicago that I grew up with, and I love it, and I do get it, you know, I understand.
Yeah.
So,
and we don't want to say that it, and we didn't even say in that video that it was bad. We actually said it was so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were kind of like on a Chicago first album kind of kick. And so it was just a little bit of a shock. But just to let you know, you've done the last 2 songs on this album for a marathon for Graybeard on the channel. So those are the only 2 that you have heard, the last 2. And now we're going to be doing the album opener, Sing a Mean Tune, Kid. This is a Dan request for Steven Caruso. Thank you so much for being a Dan member. As a Dan member, you get 1 guaranteed request every month. And this is what he chose. And I love album openers because I always say it kind of gives you the portal into the rest of the album. So
it does.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for being here. And thank you for checking out the video. If you're enjoying it at any time, if you find yourself smiling uncontrollably, we have that effect. And I'm just kidding. But please hit the like button and consider subscribing. But yeah, anything else before we get started?
I'm always ready for Chicago. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Here we go.
All right.
Sing a Mean Tune, Kid. Yeah. Here we go.
1.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow. Crazy stuff here.
The longest.
And they're not slowing down. They just had to kind of like finish.
Yeah.
They're just fading it out. I'm sure they kept going another 10 minutes. Who knows? Sure. This was awesome. This was, I think, the wildest I've ever heard them, because at the beginning it did have a structure, and then it just became like a jam. Yeah. Like for Terry KATH, I mean, I've never heard him like this ever. Yeah. And just like the whole like horn section was always very like like very
calculated.
Very even, but those like what they were playing, the notes, very abstract stuff of what was going on, like the guitar and the bass. The horn section was always like very out there, very fusion.
Yes. Very I totally
jazzy.
Agree. This was a little bit exactly what I was gonna say, like more out there compared to what we've heard, but I loved it.
Me too.
And that guitar solo, so long, but it kept you engaged. It kept you entertained, and the bass throughout the entire song was insane. Like Peter Cetera to be doing lead vocals and bass in the song is awesome. But everything, you know, like what the sax and the horn and the trumpet and
the drumming was insane.
The drumming, like you said, the guitar.
Yeah, the guitar literally like seemed like, wow. I remember like Holdsworth when he was back in Soft Machine and stuff like that. Okay. Gong. That's the stuff he would play. Like very, very long lines of legato. Okay. I've never heard Terry KATH play like that. He was really like on a different level. I'm not surprised that Jimi Hendrix said he's the best guitar player. Ooh. I'm in 1971. Like, I'm not surprised. That guy, he was ripping. Like, he was ripping it up. Like, yes. Wow. I've never heard him like that. And just the stuff he was doing, and really cool, like wah-wah there. So it was almost like there were two guitars. One was doing lead and the other one was doing like wow, wow,
yes,
wow,
yes,
wow.
Yes.
But yeah, I think at the end, Peter Cetera on bass and Terry KATH on guitar were just like,
having
let's
a blast.
Go. And then it's crazy because all the other songs kind of like had to be shorter because this one was such a cool jam.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. Like, this is literally the longest song of the album. There's like 1,000 songs on the album. 23.
Oh,
wait, no. How many?
Wow, it's like, almost like a concept album.
There's 4 sides to the album.
Holy moly.
So
is this a concept album? Because it's like they're all like they bleed into each other, like literally, like 45 seconds, a minute.
Yeah. No, and literally there are 23 songs. I don't know if it's a concept album or not. It didn't. I was kind of reading here and it didn't mention anything about that, I don't think, but like it definitely had several sides, but this out of the 23 songs is the longest song. So the rest of them, like you said, are just seconds long. So it might be like they just bleed into each other. But what a great song. Everything very about cool. It. I just love Chicago as a band. And at this time, I think they were just in their most, I don't want to say in their most creative, but it was such a time to be creative and to go out there and express yourself. And, you know, with all the turmoil that was happening internationally, it also just fed into that. Like, you can see the cover, like the torn up US flag.
Wow. And I didn't even know this stat. Thank you for pointing that out, because I did not. It's even on Prog Archives. Like, let's see how many albums of Chicago are on Prog Archives. This is obviously very fusion. This is almost like, I would call this jazz fusion. Also, okay.
A lot of them, huh?
A lot of them are on there. Like, so it's almost like all of them.
I don't know how many they had, but there's definitely like more than 20 on there. Yeah.
I mean, they've always been, but look, they're obviously the ratings here that kind of like decline.
Yeah. But one of their highest ones
is the first one.
The first one, and then the second one, and then the third one in that order.
And then this one here, Chicago 7.
Yeah.
And then it kind of like, you know, it is what it is, you know. Yeah. Music reviews are always kind of like, who knows, you know. Yeah. But this was crazy good. This was like, I guess, the most chaotic I've heard them, but I love that. I love chaos. When it's that kind of musicianship, they can play whatever they want.
And it's so many instruments, like the keyboards and the like brass and just everyone. Like you said, then it's welcoming because then it's like you can focus on so many different things throughout the jam. You can re-listen
to the same songs like 30 times and you're still not like you still haven't heard it all. But I think everybody was shining on this track. It was just very, very out there, very cool. More. That's what I need.
I agree. And also more is more. Also to like expand our Chicago knowledge. I mean, this is the thing when Chicago, they're all of their albums are so long usually that we like, I guess, haven't done any of their full albums on Patreon, but we could divide them into two halves, you know?
This is 1 hour and 11 minutes.
All of them are over an hour. Like all of them. I remember checking one time and I was like, oh,
and that's almost crazy because remember that the record companies wouldn't do that a lot. And I mean, do you think that it ever was played on the radio? Ever?
I don't think the song was. I mean, unless it was like
maybe
on a
the
certain
solo
station.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there were certain stations who would play the whole thing, but like on a commercial station.
Or maybe up to the point where, because like half of the song was the guitar solo, almost. So maybe up until that point, they would play it on the radio.
I've heard a version of Hotel California without the guitar solo. I mean, are you serious?
It's insane. But they used to do that.
Serious?
Yeah, I know.
That's like the best part of the song. But well, you know, you have to kind of like, that's why they have radio edits and stuff like that. But well, back to the thank you so much, Stephen, for choosing this. Yeah. You know us so well. I mean, you look at the room, it's full of like, I mean, there is some Chicago on the back. I guess we can't see it.
Yeah.
But this was wonderful.
This was great. Thank you, Stephen. Thank you, everyone, for checking this out. Again, if this was your first video of ours and you're still watching at the end of the video, thank you so much for sticking around. Thank you for sharing music with us. We love learning from you guys. Leave any trivia or anything you want us to know in the comments. Engage with the video in any way. Like, subscribe. We would love to see you all in the next one.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.